Cool. All right. Well, welcome to the GBHBL Whiplash. It's been, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Years.
It feels like it. It feels like it's been absolutely ages.
Welcome to the news. I wanted to do that the minute we had this set up.
Oh, that's strong.
Yeah, I was going to wait until the video started so I could try mine.
That's strong.
I suppose we should say who we are before we tell them what it is.
Yeah, what games, Brrraaains and Oh, fucking hell. You go.
Games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, GBHBL. That's it, really.
Yeah, that's us.
If you're watching this, then you're probably already on our YouTube channel. You may already know we are predominantly a website with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and pretty much everything else you can think of. Smoke signals.
Yeah, basically.
Pigeons.
Yeah, just every little angle.
By pigeon.
Trying to get every little angle, really, aren't we now?
Yep. And we have special beer.
Which we just opened up. All the way from Northern Monk, paid Northern Monk, which is a brewery. They did a special run based around Barbarian Hermit, Solitary and Savagery, which of course...
Solitude.
What did I say?
Solitary.
Solitude and Savagery, which is Barbarian... Fucking hell.
He's only had one mouthful.
I know, it's strong.
Good stuff.
It's strong, yeah. Barbarian Hermit's latest album release. The end of last year, wicked album. Go check it out. We've also got an interview with them on the YouTube channel, so make sure you do that. In fact, they did in that interview say they'd send me some, but I ended up buying 4 myself.
Yep.
Yeah, it's strong.
Call them out on it.
Yeah,
it's alright though. I quite like it. I've got a feeling this is sort of stuff like if you pour it in your arm, it'll stain.
It's got that colour in it already.
Yeah.
I can see along the top.
Yeah,
It looks like Coke.
a bit like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It tastes nice though. I like it. So
Yeah.
I don't say this was 6.66%, very metal. So it's not the sort of thing you're going to drink like 20 of them.
Oh God, no.
On a heavy night, but
It instantly it reminds me of just trying these L's out of Bloodstock, you know, and then going, oh, that's all right, but I can only have one of them, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Like the first one you try and you think, yeah, I like that, and then when you go to the bar, there's no way in the world you buy another one of them.
No, you just want a really cold lager after that.
The next day you might have one.
Yeah.
But actually, that's quite nice. But what is awesome, I don't know if people can see them or not, is the cans, which have the artwork from the album, isn't it? That is the artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Hand drawn illustration by Mr. Hass. Yeah, it looks cool as fuck.
It does, yeah.
If you look little collectibles and all that sort of stuff, get yourself a couple of cans of this, drink it, and then keep the can.
Order it online by Northern Monk. Nice and cheap too, 4-pack.
Yep.
Oh, I think you can buy them individually if you really want anyway as well. So you can do it that way. If you even want to try one, there you go.
If you don't like the band, it's beer.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't you like the band? Check them out.
It's not gluten free though.
Yeah.
Point that out. There's a lot of gluten on it, and it is It's an Indian pale ale.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for it, it's not a lager or anything like that. If you're looking for a lager.
Right, well, I suppose the biggest news, and it's weird because it almost doesn't apply to us, but it does in a way. The biggest news recently, and a talking point, is the death of Prodigy frontman Keith Flint, who's died at age 49, and now I believe he's believed to have committed suicide.
Yeah, that's word on the street.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
he took his own life. I think of a fellow band member actually tweeted out something along those lines. That's where the story came. And it was put in quotations anyway, whether or not it's a real quote, who knows these days, to be honest. But it said something like about, sorry that, he took his own life last night or something like that. So it looked like it was confirmed by the band.
Well, yeah, but if it's a band, he would surely know. Whoever
Yeah.
found Keith dead would then probably have contacted them next, presumably, you presume they're best friends or something.
Yeah. You never know with these things.
Of course.
I don't. When, like you said, Prodigy are one of those bands that they've appeared at things like Download, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I guess there's a lot of appreciation in some metal circles for things like the Prodigy.
Yeah.
But we were probably more likely to criticise the fact that they'd be playing at Download or something. That's the truth of it.
Yep.
I like a couple of Prodigy songs. I like the ones that everyone else likes. I like the song "Breathe." It's got a cool little guitar bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Firestarter. Basically, I think that album's called like the Fat of the Land.
That's it. Yeah,
and
Fat of the Land.
Like the one that kind of had a bit more kind of crossover metal stuff in it. But what people forget, and I really don't like, is everything pre that, all that outer space sort of stuff. I'm descending to outer space, all that stuff, like proper hardcore ravey techno stuff.
Well, that's how I always saw them. You know. I understand there was a punk attitude and they had like moments that would cross over and so on, but to me they were always going to be a dance, techno, that combination of things. So there was never any appeal there. I didn't even really like the hits.
But what they were, and like this is I guess where I can appreciate them, is they were alternative, they were shocking, they dressed, they parents feared, like parents hated their kids being in, you know what I mean? They were everything that metal bands kind of do, but not necessarily directly in metal itself. And that's, you kind of, you have to kind of like appreciate that, the fact that they were out there putting songs out there that were getting censored everywhere. People were refusing to sell the Fat of the Land in shops because it had that Smack My Bitch Up song.
That's right, the video for that.
That's all the stuff that we suffer from, so you kind of appreciate the fact that they're antagonists.
If you'd show me a picture of Keith Flint, say, from Fat of the Land era and said, well, what kind of music does he play? I'd have been like, punk.
Country.
Punk, you know what I mean?
That
kind of thing.
He had a style of his own.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people that were actually quite big fans of Prodigy. And I guess the one other thing that's a real crossover into our area, but actually just everywhere at the moment, is the fact that it's another high-profile suicide.
Yes.
And whatever type of music that falls into. It's certainly something that I don't know if it's necessarily happening more these days, but it's certainly publicised more.
Yeah, we're definitely paying more attention to it.
It's like that whole thing, where people say, "Oh, there were no rapists back in our day," and it's like, no, there were. It wasn't social media.
You just didn't know.
You never know, like, and whether part of what's going on these days is that actually it's not that there are that many more high-profile suicides. It's just that they're now very, very quickly in the public eye.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe they weren't so much in the past. But either way, it doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, because as soon as someone's been found dead, it's out there. Super quick.
It's a very strange thing because I didn't research it like deeply. I'm not going to pretend I did, but the bits that I read, right, were that I think everyone would have guessed this anyway, right? But the Prodigy, at least for a period of their lives, were bang on drugs, alcohol. They weren't just an image; they were living to that image.
Yeah.
And that there were problems in the band, and this might be going back like a while. This might be going back like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. And between Keith and the rest of them, because he was the one who, I guess, was Mr. Excess.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I can believe that.
And it ended up with him going into rehabilitation. I don't know if he went into a place or he had, it done like classes or something like that, but he ended up in rehab. And he came out of that clean. And there were interviews. I read a snippet of an interview with him after a few years of being clean, like alcohol-free, drug-free, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And him talking about how he was doing well, but he wasn't going to lie, it was tough.
Yeah.
Like you almost don't know what to do with yourself. And what he ended up doing, really strangely, is apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently, and I don't know where in the country it was, but apparently him and his wife, or girlfriend or whatever it was, they bought like an old kind of country pub in a village, and they restored it, and they were running it. They were actually running the pub.
Wow.
So Keith Flint's behind the bar.
That's fucking weird, isn't it? That would have been a reason to go in there.
But it's so typical of the stories that we get these days around suicide, isn't it? Which is actually, when you look into the stories of it, it seems that they had their hard time and now they're, not better's not the right word, but they're in a better place. They got through the rehab. He's no longer on the drugs. He's no longer on the drink. He's restored a pub. He's living there with his girlfriend, wife. I don't know if there are kids involved or anything like that. And all that sort of stuff. And everything's like hunky-dory. And then they kill themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always a strange thing because you almost feel like, I'm not trying to advocate timings of suicide or anything like that, but you'd think it would come more at the pits of when you're at your lowest, which might be, the minute one before going into rehab.
Yeah.
That's your lowest point. But it just goes to show that mental illness, like it isn't curable. It's there for good, and
yeah. It can just rear its ugly head.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes a minute for it to creep back up on you, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's a sad story. Another sad story.
It is. Yeah.
Again, I think he's 49.
Yeah, 49.
Wasn't he? So it's not. It's sad that he felt that he had to do it, but it's also sad for the people that get left behind and pick up the pieces.
Yeah. A lot of misunderstanding.
Kind of unspoken victims of suicide.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, on that note, then let's move on to another person who isn't dead. That's a weird segue.
Yeah.
Did you see this about Doyle, the Misfits guitarist, who kind of went on a bit of a rant almost about having to do meet and greets to make up money that he's losing by illegal download streaming. And he fucking hates it. He hates doing meet and greets and all that. Oh man, when I read, this.
I mean, if you're a big fan of the guy, that's gonna feel like a bit of a kick in the teeth. But I kind of appreciate the honesty a little bit. There's no point in him coming out and like pretending that he, there are people that aren't necessarily people persons or social skilled, and they don't like doing that sort of stuff. And if he feels that he's forced into it because he's not making enough money, you know, as I said, if he's a hero of yours or something like that, that's going to be a bit like, oh, that's going to make you cringe a little bit. However, you know, he's not a hero of mine, and I just think like, okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah, I
it
thought
doesn't really affect me at all.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I never really believe that many bands want to do meet and greets.
No.
Like, because, you know, ultimately...
Well, would anyone in any point of their life, would you, for any reason whatsoever, be like... it's hard to put yourself into the situation, but in a situation where you felt like you had no choice at once a week or every 3 nights on a tour or something like that you had to go out and stand in a room full of strangers and talk to them.
Well, yeah, but
it's just not people. It's not a natural thing for most people to do.
It depends on how much of a socialite you are in regards to that band.
I hate getting on the fucking train. There's too many
but you're unsociable as fuck. So you're not.
True.
But what I'm saying is, this is something that doesn't need to be said. Because if you're going to continue to do meet and greets, you basically laid on a marker to anyone who wants to buy meet and greets in the future to second guess that.
They're going to feel a bit uncomfortable doing it,
even if they do it now.
Yeah.
But not only that as well. To blame illegal downloading of music at this stage. Now, I at this stage in music, there can't be many. The percentage of illegal downloaders out there has got to be at a record low because of streaming, because of YouTube, because of that. Why there are so many free ways you can literally
was it specifically illegal downloading? Or was he talking about streaming?
No, he talked about illegal downloads.
Okay. I took it as he meant like just, you know, online music.
No, if it was all that, and he was sort of saying like the way the music industry is now is I can't make enough money. But I don't want to be funny about this as well. But Doyle, your name comes from being the guitarist in the Misfits. When you're going out on your solo stuff, you're gonna end up playing to the fucking pub. You're gonna do that because you know you're not the Misfits. You're the guy in the Misfits, and your solo stuff has never blown me away.
Yeah.
Why am I talking as if I'm speaking to him? What I'm saying is, if you don't want to do meet and greets, there are other ways you can do this. We've talked about it before about being smart with your merch, doing this and that kind of thing. But going out and going, I hate doing meet and greets because I don't want to meet these people, and it's all these I can't remember what word, something like parasites or something like that to describe taking his music for illegal download. It's like, mate,
I will say, and I'm sure I do agree with him that if you are still downloading music illegally, when you can bloody stream unlimited amount of music for like a $5 a fucking month.
Absolutely.
Then you are a parasite.
Of course you are.
Yeah, so just wanted to chuck that
in we will never change our stance on that.
So it's not about him calling them parasites. We agree completely.
100%. Yeah, you can do it. You can pay a very small fee for streaming and stream as much as you want. Shit, you can use YouTube if you want to. If you want to even have a lot of it free in that regards.
You know, it doesn't impact me at this whole Doyle thing, right? But the thing that like if it was somebody that I cared deeply about. You know, you have this all kind of built up image, don't you, in your head of what bands are like and how they do it because they love the music.
Yep.
And they love the fans and they're grateful for you being there. And actually them meeting you might almost be a little bit of a treat as much as it is for you meeting them. And that's kind of the persona you want to kind of believe.
Yeah.
You know, that big high energy enthusiasm. We love you guys. And then when they come down, they really mean it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you want. And that kind of gives you the impression that it's more of a business arrangement.
Imagine a month after we've done a meet and greet in the past with Machine Head. Imagine a month after that, Rob Flynn had come out and gone, I fucking hate doing all this shit. I only do it because those bastards keep stealing my music. He'd be a bit like, oh, that just taints that.
Yeah, no, it would.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I sort of see it.
Yeah, it would taint that.
Yeah. But there you go. Maybe you've got a different opinion on it. Maybe you think he's 100% right, and that they shouldn't have to. And well, I mean, they shouldn't have to. Of course, they shouldn't have to. If you're having to do that to make a living as a guitarist and stuff like that, that sucks. But I'd always sort of say to someone like Doyle as well. Look at the amount of small bands who finish their set, go on a merch stand, and do this and do that. They're forced to. Do you know what I mean? They have to, and then they go and do their jobs and stuff like that. You know, he's still in a position where you know he can. All it takes him to do is go and meet some of his adoring fan base and say hello and shake their hand and sign a few shit. Yeah. And you're going to get mad about having to do that. Dude, man. That's what I think. Yeah. So, Slipknot's got a new album's got a release date. Yeah. I only found this out today of all fucking things.
Yeah, I think it only got like announced last night or something like that.
Yeah, around about the Knotfest, because it was like, if you bought tickets, you get the album download. And like Knotfest, the touring Knotfest is a pretty solid lineup, isn't it? It's Slipknot, Behemoth, Volbeat, and one more I'm missing. But that touring lineup looks pretty tasty. America, obviously, so it's not far over here.
Yeah, you'd imagine it'll come. Well, maybe not the same lineup, but they'll tour the death out of this album.
Oh yeah,
I expect them to be on tour for the next 3-4 years. After
Absolutely,
it's released, to be honest.
Yeah, and if and for your viewing knowledge, our next 10 things we love and hate about a band one is Slipknot. Which is, you know, I just kind of made me laugh the date.
Not just Corey.
No, or they just come up a fair bit. The date made me laugh. The date this comes out, what is it?
It's your birthday.
Oh, he knows. It actually comes out on my birthday. Yeah. Slipknot released an album on my 35th birthday.
I'm pretty sure that's why they did it.
I would hope so. Yeah.
You know, happy birthday, Carl.
Not that we'll get a chance to listen to it though, because we'll be at fucking Bloodstock. Yeah. That's Friday as well, at Bloodstock. Yeah. Thursday the 8th, Friday the 9th. So yeah, well, we won't even hear that until like...
I don't know. We'll see. We might get it. You never know. In the website.
Oh, yeah. What label are they on?
I think they're still Roadrunner, aren't they?
Oh, then we won't. We're not.
I think they are. I think they're like probably one of the last standing.
If it's Roadrunner, we got no relationship with Roadrunner. It's got, but there we go.
We're too metal, that's why.
Yeah, way too much for them. But yeah, it's got no title yet, so expect something coming soon, I'll imagine. The title, track list.
Yeah, I mean, between now and August, expect the news to drop. Something where it'll be a title, maybe in a week's time, a new single, I guess, coming up soon. There's got to be one soon. Track list will come out. It'll basically be a media train now, between now and probably August the 9th.
Yeah, just rolling up.
Expect to see a lot of Corey. Articles and stuff like that, just because, I mean, it's the right thing to do. They should do it. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. They should pump it up. Yeah, I would expect
we'll talk about it as much as we can be bothered to, as is often the case regarding Slipknot.
First single was good. Keep the music good. We'll talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah, there you go. It's as easy as that.
Yep.
Have you ever listened to Attila?
I have listened to Attila, but only because there's a lot of love, but there's also quite a lot of hate for them.
Yeah.
This isn't for a while, man. But I have listened to them to hear what all the fuss was about, like why they were hated, why they were like that sort of thing. And, you know, I didn't probably make it for a song. And I know that therefore means that I'm not qualified to judge them, but that's the instant impression I got from listening to Attila was this isn't for me. I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, so that was the end of it for me.
No, the only reason I bring it up is I've always wanted to bring it up ever since I did a review for the latest Attila album, the second Attila album I've done. Villain. And it was mostly negative. I think I did praise one particular song that I was kind of like, similar to what's the gun band? The ones that love guns. And
King 810.
King 810. Similar to that album in the fact that most of it's bollocks, and then there's like one song where it's just like, wait, is this the same band? Because King 810's new album has that, where it's like, there's two songs in it, in fact, where it's all like, oh yeah, we're going to shoot you and we're going to stick our guns up your bum. Those aren't the lyrics, but you know, that kind of thing. And then there were two songs in that, and I remember just being like, is this the fucking same band?
Yeah.
Like, they're that good and different and stuff. Same with Attila. They've got, I think, one song near the end. I can't remember the title of it, but I did a video review, as is often the case on the YouTube channel. And I'm the nard over this one because I've tried to keep the YouTube channel rated to more positive reviews only. Not because, I don't want to put any negativity up and get a deal with the scorn of the internet, but because the ones I'm positive about are easier to record and talk about and be excited about, where the negative ones are just, you know, what's the point of me just saying something shit? It's always going to, But a few popped up in a row, and I kind of I realised it was going to happen, and I was worried that I knew I was going to do In Flames. And I knew I'd written the written review and was like, it's basically run-of-the-mill, and I'm going to have to say that, and it's a lengthy one as well.
Yeah.
And Raj and that fan base is quite rabid. Now, thankfully, the pushback in that was actually not too bad, but I decided to preempt it, and I decided to do an Attila video review. And I was like, this will be a good opportunity for me to acclimatise myself to something I'm not used to, which is anger directed at you and thing. And even then, it wasn't loads. It's not like I got bombarded by 1,000 comments. But what it was, one of the things that have always worried me is that, and if you're an Attila fan and you're a lovely person and all that, I don't mean to lump you with this, but there is a perception that we have of Attila and Attila's fan base. And if you know what I mean, and I don't even got in detail about it, but the most frustrating thing was to see that fucking proven. Only by a handful of comments.
Yeah.
But it was just like, God damn it. Like, you know, very important in video review as well is what I normally do is just read what I wrote and maybe change a few words here and there. This I decided to change a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I kind of went down a route of, what am I missing? Why do you like them?
Yeah.
Hoping that would spark. It didn't.
Yeah.
There was one or two, I deleted a lot of comments because I decided to sort of self-moderate the comments. And I left some up that were people just trying to explain and say, look, you're wrong because of this.
Yeah.
Cool, no worries. Yeah. That's not a problem. It's when you come out and you start calling, not just me names, but I'm not going to tell you the entire comment, but basically it was an insult that was used as a derogatory term for a gay person, and I should get the fuck out of metal.
Yeah.
And that he'd meet me on the dance floor, which was weird.
Yeah.
That was a weird one. But I remember just thinking, oh my God, what on earth possessed you to write that? Like, you haven't even said anything about the album. You've just said you don't like it, you're wrong, so you are this. And I just remember thinking, wow. Like, you always hear that YouTube comments are like the fucking cesspit of thing, you know?
They are.
But wow,
All
you know?
comments are really, or most comments are anyway. The problem with comments is that you never know who's saying it because they adore the band or who's just saying it because they can see this is stirring things up a bit. I'm going to jump in there and troll a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You never know. People are entitled to their opinions, aren't they? I you know.
Of course.
For me, I don't particularly give a monkeys about negativity or anything like that. So for me, it's probably easier because it's like water for duck's back. I find it quite funny.
Yep.
I do this comment to a degree I find funny because I mean a lot of the time when negativity is put out there, like you said, it's more of it's a rant, isn't it? It's a little blasted rant.
Yep.
With very little context to what the reasoning behind it is, what the video itself. Get out of metal, but meeting on a dance floor suggests that, you know, are you sure you're actually even into metal?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all very, very strange. But, you know, the reality of these sorts of things is it's just as likely to be a fucking 12-year-old kid.
Exactly.
Sitting at home trying to think of the best insult he can come up with because he likes a Attila.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what it is.
And we'll put it out there again.
It sucks, doesn't it? But, you know.
We'll put it out there again. If you like this band, if you love this band, why? Because that's the question I keep going back to. What is it? Explain it to me. Do not turn around and say, well, they're heavy, because that's being done by anything. Oh, don't tell me they don't give a fuck. Because again, I could name you X amount of bands that say they don't give a fuck. And yeah, but if not giving a fuck is turning around and singing songs about having your dick sucked, if that's what don't giving a fuck is, like, I felt that's not to me. That's just like shit lyrics. That's shit lyrics. You know? That's white boy 20-year-old rapper with tattoos on his teeth. Fucking shit. You know?
Then even white boy 20-year-old rapper with tattoos on his teeth had their fan bases.
They do, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so.
You know, weirdly I said that, and the first thing I thought was Machine Gun Kelly. He ain't got tattoos in his teeth, but that's what I thought of. You know. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Do you remember?
No.
During While She Sleeps show at the Shepherd's Bush at the Roundhouse, that they briefly stopped to say about phone thieves.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember. I've actually read quite a bit on what happened during the week. Roundhouse themselves put up a picture of While She Sleeps, saying like, "Wow, what a gig," that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there were quite a few comments on that, which brought up the mobile phone thing. People saying they were the ones that had theirs nicked and everything like that, you know. So I found out more of it through the comments on that picture than I did anywhere else. And there were some really strange comments. Again, I know comments are strange, but one person in particular, I can't remember it. I wouldn't name them if I did remember who it was.
Yeah.
Because I kind of understood what they meant, but I think they're wrong, which was that they were really pissed off at the band for the fact that they haven't come out and apologised after the gig to the people that had lost their phones.
Oh, for God's sake.
And I was like, you know, and a lot of people sort of like, it's not really on the band, to be honest. They did
really
everything
not
they
on
could.
them.
They made people aware. You know, and there were other people that were like, well, they could have stopped the gig for a bit and, you know, that sort of stuff. It's like, there's things you can do, there's things you can't do. What I didn't realise, and I don't know how realistic this is, I didn't know that all this, you know, it's really weird that we don't know this stuff's happening around us, right? Not just that there were quite a few apparently taken, like, you know, it wasn't like 2 phones.
No, it was apparently quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. But secondly, that according to these comment sections, people were like, it was being talked about in the venue, as in everybody knew, the bar staff knew, security guards knew, everyone knew it was happening. And there were people that, as I said, lost their phone, and they would go up to the bar people and say, like, has a phone been handed in? And they say, oh no, go out in the hallway, they're all out there. Like, as in and you go out there and there was apparently like 100 people all out there with the security.
Wow.
You know, and there was this thing where they were searching the bags of everyone who exited.
Oh wow.
But only like the people that were exiting during the gig. Because you obviously, and I do understand this, once the show's ended and you have your mass exodus, it's almost impossible to hold people. And
we just got those out, yeah.
You know, the one person did point out something which I didn't really notice at the time, but thinking back on it, I do kind of think I've noticed now.
Go on.
Which is that it's the first time they've ever been at a show, especially at a big venue like the Roundhouse, where there were no people working as in within the crowd. Usually you have people moving about in yellow
that's
coats
an interesting point,
with
yeah.
torches and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
while there were people at the door, and even the people that were standing at the door, you know, when you had to come into the second door with your ticket, they weren't dressed in outfits or anything like that.
They
do you know what I mean?
were they?
So I don't know if they were massively understaffed. It wouldn't have had well, it might have had an impact on the volume of phones. It wouldn't have changed the fact that a person would have come in or not, because they wouldn't have known that.
Yep.
It might have just made their task easier that night, nicking phones, when they're like, oh sweet, there isn't a single person walking about in this crowd whatsoever with a torch looking at anything.
Wow, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, just because the Evening Standard, which is a piece of shit newspaper that runs in the UK, reported that it was nearly 100 phones and stuff like that.
I mean, I have no idea how real that is or not.
Of course.
It's hard to imagine it being that much. I mean, maybe it is, and I don't know. You think of like right at a venue, like even at the Roundhouse, yeah. This stuff was apparently going down in the pit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's 100 people. That is pretty much
that's
the
a
most
huge
of the pit.
Yeah, that's a huge
that's
fucking
taking
amount
almost
of people.
every phone off every person in the pit, and that's what makes it quite hard, because the people on the outside, like, we weren't experiencing anything like that. Because you're standing there and you're watching.
Yep. Yeah. Do you think it as well? Like, I mean, I guess, where do you put your phone in a gig? If you're going in a pit and all that, like, are people still leaving their phones in their back pockets? Like, my phone's in my front left or right pocket.
I see people like all the time, man, just walking down the street with it half hanging out their back pocket.
Yes, that's...
And like, I've thought with myself before, it's like, if I was a little like thing, I could easily just walk that.
Yeah.
Easy.
So basically, just watch the shit, people, because like that was a targeted event.
To keep your phone locked away while you're at a gig and not have to hold it up the whole time.
There's that. Yeah. That's
Because you
it.
can get that in the pit. I mean, maybe that's like where you start swiping them. Do you know what I mean? Because even in the pit, you got some geezer. There was a geezer like standing in there when I was in there for a bit, holding the phone up in the air, like trying to mosh.
Oh,
while filming.
yeah.
And again, you're like, do you know what? Like, if I swipe that out of your hand now, I'd be gone before you've even realised. Do you know what I mean? You can't do nothing about it.
No.
Picking people up on the crowd and pushing them across you. The amount of people that I lifted up, because I'm bigger than a lot of the people in there are, so they're all asking me to lift them up.
Yep.
The amount of people you're pushing along, and there's wallets, phones, everything going by in your hand.
Yeah.
And you're like, literally, I could
just pull one out
never
easily.
do it, because, you know,
you're not an
raised
arsehole.
differently, I guess, but
yeah,
people will. So look after your property, man. It ain't on the band, it ain't on the venue to protect your own gear.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they could help us do it, but it's not on them. If you go in there with a phone and you get pickpocketed or lose it, I kind of feel a little bit it's on you. You know, it sucks that the person's doing that, but that happens everywhere. It happens on the street, it happens on the train,
Yep.
It happens everywhere. And outside of the venue, you wouldn't like, so if you get pickpocketed on the train, you wouldn't ring up Transport for London and say, like, that's on you.
No.
Or you like the trains. You might do. People might do, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, they would actually.
You're walking
come
down
to
the
us,
street,
yeah.
you're not going to ring up the council and go, I just got pickpocketed on your streets.
No.
Why are you not protecting me? Venues, or in a pub.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like... It's your own personal stuff. It's kind of on you to look after it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like, I mean, the thing that you always wish would happen out of this, and I don't know if it did. I don't think it did, because it probably would have been more talked about. Is that if 100 phones got took in there, unless this was a crew, like, you know, I'm talking like 10
it's got
or
a bit
12
of gang
of them
at
out there
least,
taking them from all over the
Yeah.
place. Like, I find it hard to understand how nobody noticed anyone doing it.
Yeah.
And if you've noticed it, like, why you haven't just, like, grabbed the geezer up a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Like,
mean?
see him
pull
pulling
him back in.
Yeah, like you pull a phone out of someone's
He's going to be walking
pocket.
about with a bag, and he's going to have loads of phones in it. If you see him pull a phone out of his pocket, or you feel him, you know, you've heard about the phone thing, you feel some geezer, like, trying to swipe something out of your pocket, like, just grab him.
Yeah.
Grab him, get the fucking bag off his back, tell everyone around you this is the geezer that's nicking phones or whatever, and let him deal with it.
Yeah. It's that thing as well. Like, you're going to be having a great time, people, but just be fucking aware. Particularly if you're planning to go to a gig and you're like, I'm going to be in that pit for the entire hour and a half to on stage.
Yeah.
Don't bring such shit with you then. Like, leave your phone at home if you can. Just leave it.
Yeah,
leave it at
your
home.
rucksack at home.
Yeah,
I mean, it could even be that. You know, you got your people standing there right into the pit and all that with their rucksack in the back.
Yeah.
You just stand behind them and unzip the thing, take what you want.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do it. Not that you want people to be doing it, and you don't want people to be worried about going to gigs because of it happening. But you just, in any other walk of life, it's going to happen everywhere. Just be aware.
That's it, basically. That's kind of what was
Wake
the
the
sort of
fuck
thing
up,
for
man.
it, yeah. Anyway, talking about another piece of shit. Oh, this one's not a newspaper. This is a tabloid. Did you see this thing about The Sun, which is a UK paper, pretty famous one?
Yeah.
Having to pay the Labour Shadow Justice Secretary £30,000 in libel damages after claiming he had joined a band that, and this is their words, Delights in Nazi imagery.
Yeah, I mean,
What was the band, Brendan?
well, I know it's Dream Troll.
It was like a dream troll.
I knew about. I mean, I've been following this story for about the part of like almost 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. I remember sharing the original post on the website when the Sun ran it, and they ran it with the headlines with the 2 S's like they were Nazi symbols,
Yeah.
but slightly adjusted because actually it doesn't look like that in Dream Troll's thingy whatsoever.
It's a spoof of Black Sabbath's "We Sold Our Soul" to rock and roll,
and it was purely a tabloid using it as a way to attack politicians. Without thinking the band or anything will give a monkeys about it. This is just us attacking a politician.
Yep.
Look, your politicians are Satanists.
Yeah, a Labour one as well. Yeah,
that sort of stuff. That's literally all it was, and yeah, I guess they weren't possibly expecting. There was quite a backlash in terms of like the Labour guy didn't just take it.
that's right. Yeah,
He wasn't happy with it. He went for them. The band brought it up. Lots of people got behind it, and yeah, good on them. They won, and he also announced that all of his winnings would be going to a charity and local charity to them as well. So. It wasn't done to get money. It was done to basically show up the tabloids for fake news.
Just when it came our way, and I was like, Nazis, Dream Troll. I was like, wait,
there are bands.
Have they got the same band?
You could levy that against. Do you know what I mean? But like Dream Troll are so far from that. And actually, do you know because he does vocals on one of the songs on their first album, and I can't remember the name of the song now, but basically it's really funny because he does it like it's a song about a troll.
Yep.
And there's a passage in it where he reads almost spoken word, but in a slightly kind of trollish voice.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I've actually been.
And it's really, really cool. You know, you would never but it's power folk kind of music.
Yep.
You know
That's what it is. Yeah.
You know, a splash of kind of thrashy, kind of old school new wave of British heavy metal sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's so far from not only Satanist in terms of music, but also I think the main levy they were saying was about satanic imagery. But you've seen the Dream Troll stuff. Their stuff is like, yeah, this isn't satanic imagery at all.
We pull them out. We have the Knight's Rebellion and a Witch's Curse cassettes. None of you can see them.
It's He-Man.
Yeah,
it's not
basically.
Satan.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this quickly. See if I can recognise the name. Has it got the track list on it?
On the cassette inside? Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. Anyway, it's one of them. I can't remember. But anyway, it's really cool. If you want to hear a Labour politician who's actually a metal fan, then
which is rare as fuck.
Yeah, and also hear a damn good band, then check out Dream Troll, the extreme satanic black metal Dream Troll.
Yes. Nazi bastards.
It's one of those things, isn't it? If the Sun say it's crap, it's probably worth looking into.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, you can't trust them.